My girlfriend complained that every gift I bought wasn't expensive enough and left me for a guy with a Rolex and sports car. His fake wealth collapsed when the repos showed up at the restaurant. My girlfriend Ashley and I dated for 3 years, and the first year was perfect. We'd go on picnics, cook dinner together, watch movies on my couch, just enjoy being together. Then she got a job at this high-end boutique downtown, and everything changed. She started comparing what her coworkers' boyfriends bought them to what I got her. She'd send me links to $1,000 purses saying they were investment pieces. I was working as an electrician making decent money, but not purse that costs more than rent money. For her birthday, I got her a nice necklace from a local jeweler, something thoughtful that reminded me of her. She opened it, looked at it for 2 seconds, and asked where the receipt was. She said if I really loved her, I'd know she needed designer items for her job. That appearance mattered in retail. I started saving up and got her a designer wallet for Christmas. She said a wallet without the matching purse was embarrassing, and now I'd basically obligated her to buy the purse herself, which was manipulative of me. Valentine's Day came, and I'd saved for 2 months to get her these earrings she'd been talking about. She wore them once, then said they were too heavy and hurt her ears. Could I exchange them for the more expensive ones that were lighter? Every gift became about what I didn't get her. I'd take her to a nice restaurant, and she'd point out that her coworker's boyfriend flew her to Vegas for dinner. I'd surprise her with concert tickets, and she'd ask why they weren't VIP. She started this thing where she'd leave her laptop open to shopping carts full of expensive stuff, and then act sad when I'd walk by, saying she wished someone cared enough to notice what she wanted. Her coworker Brittany started dating this guy who bought her a new designer bag every month, and Ashley became obsessed. She'd come home and list everything Brittany's boyfriend bought her that week, then look at me like I was failing her. She started refusing to go places with me if she didn't have the right accessories, saying I was setting her up to be embarrassed. I was killing myself working overtime to afford gifts that were never enough. Then she met Christopher at a wine tasting event her store hosted. He walked in wearing a Rolex, bought 5 bottles of the most expensive wine without checking prices, and tipped the staff with $100 bills. Ashley came home that night and told me we needed to talk about our future. She said she'd been patient with me, but she needed someone who could provide the lifestyle she deserved. I asked if this was about Christopher, and she said at least Christopher understood that successful women needed successful partners. She moved out that week and immediately started appearing on Christopher's social media. Private jets to Miami, designer shopping sprees where he'd buy entire collections, a new car for their 1-month anniversary. Ashley would post stories making sure I'd see them, captions about finally being treated like a queen. Her coworkers all congratulated her on the upgrade. She even sent me a message saying no hard feelings, and maybe I'd understand when I became more successful. 6 weeks later, Ashley called me at 2 in the morning crying hysterically. Christopher's cars had been repossessed while they were at dinner. The repo men showed up at the restaurant and took the keys right from the valet. When they got back to his penthouse, there was an eviction notice on the door. Everything Christopher had was leased, rented, or bought on credit cards he'd maxed out. He wasn't rich at all. He was hundreds of thousands in debt, living off credit cards and loans from people he convinced he was wealthy. The private jets were one-way rentals he couldn't afford the return on. The designer goods were bought with stolen credit cards. The Rolex was fake. The wine tasting where they met, he'd written bad checks for everything. Ashley had already quit her job because Christopher said no woman of his should have to work retail. She'd moved into his penthouse that was now padlocked. All her stuff was inside, including the jewelry I'd bought her that she suddenly wished she'd kept. The creditors started calling her phone because Christopher had put her down as a reference on loan applications. One creditor said she was listed as a co-signer on a boat loan, which she'd never signed but Christopher had forged. She begged me to let her stay with me just until she figured things out. I said no. She said I was being petty, and this was my chance to prove I actually loved her. I reminded her that I'd proved that for 3 years, while she complained about every gift I'd given her. She called me the next week from her parents' house, asking if I still had the receipt for that necklace she'd returned because she needed the money. I told her I'd given it to my new girlfriend, who actually appreciated thoughtful gifts. She tried to get her job back, but they'd already filled her position. Last I heard, she was working at a department store in the suburbs, the kind of place she used to say was for people with no ambition. Christopher disappeared completely, probably moved on to scam someone else. Ashley still posts old photos from those 6 weeks trying to hold on to the image. Her coworker Brittany commented on one saying it must be hard going from private jets to public buses. Ashley deleted her entire social media after that.